Hey everyone, welcome to East Valley Middle School's March Madness Tournament. In the spirit of the NCAA basketball tournament, we're putting on our own trivia tournament with questions about college basketball and college terminology. I'm JD and I'm excited to get started with you. You'll see me in a couple of videos giving updates about how the tournament's going, who's ahead, who's behind, and what breakout stars we have. But first, let's just dive into the logistics of the tournament itself. Here's how it's going to work. Each class has already been seeded into our bracket. It has 24 homeroom classes, which Mr. Rovic is going to talk about a little bit more. Yeah, he's right. He's right behind. He's here for it. There are two regions. There's the North region and the South region, and each region is going to have 12 teams in it. Your classroom seed is completely random. It's between 1 and 12. The seed only determines who you're going to be matched up against and doesn't tell you which team is better or worse or which one Mr. Rovic likes more. However, if your seed is lower, you are the home team, aka a 1, a 2, a 3 seed, things like that. You're going to be the home team, whereas the higher seeded teams like 10, 11, 12, you're going to be the away team. The Kahoot quizzes are going to be sent out the day of each round. The homeroom teacher is going to select one student at the very beginning to serve as the team captain for the entire competition. That's right. Keep the same captain. It's going to make it easier, and that person is going to lead your team to victory. The student will be responsible for submitting final answers once the classes discuss possible answers. You will be competing only against the homeroom class you are assigned against, and each matchup will have its own Kahoot, so you'll be able to see in real time who's ahead and by how many points. We will be posting videos that include first and second round highlights as well as commentary on each matchup. So pay attention to the bracket that will be put up in one of the main halls in the next couple of days. It's going to have it'll have all the first round matchups, and it will be updated after each round. Please go ahead and see either me or Mr. Rovic with any questions about this event. And I'm going to hand it off to Mr. Rovic right now for the official bracket reveal. Let the madness begin.
Gonzaga very fortunate to keep the ball. Florida goes back into the zone. Shot clock turned off. Calvary, Hall, 8 to shoot. Hall, the runner! Loose ball! It's good! With 4.4 to go. Shannon, don't want to foul. Shannon from the corner! And it's over! Gonzaga! The flipper still fits! They win it! 73-72!
Good morning, East Valley Middle School. Hopefully you enjoyed that hype video. Granted, trivia probably isn't exciting as basketball, but hey, it's the best we could do to put on a contest between homerooms. So without further ado, we're here to read off the first round contest, which will take place this Friday during homeroom. Again, as JD explained, if you're the homeroom team, you will stay put, and the visiting team will come to your classroom. So the first name I announce in the competitions, you'll be the homeroom. This will all be posted outside. So without further ado, here we go. In our South region, we have Miss Anoy taking on Mr. Smith. We have Mr. Russell challenging Mr. Larson. We have hallmates across the hall from each other, Mr. Bussey taking on Mrs. Scott. We have a battle of the Howes in Mr. Howe versus Mrs. Howe. We have Miss Ferguson taking on Mrs. Sinnett. And to round out the South field, we have Mr. Hanson taking on Mr. Wolf. Good luck to you competitors in the South region. In the North, Miss Gleaner is challenging Mrs. Farr. Miss Davis will be taking on Mr. Bavacqua's class. Mr. Stokes will be taking on Mrs. Irwin. We have a Miss Williams challenging her neighbor, Mr. Blewett. And Mr. Malsum will be taking on Mrs. Boardwell. And to round out the North region, we have a special matchup. Miss Irish's class will be taking on East Valley Middle School's very own principal, Mr. Orndorff. We had a slot. He wanted to challenge his knowledge, so we put him in there. Good luck, everyone. Again, games this Friday. Don't forget, pick your team captain. Very important. You probably all also want to discuss how to get an answer to your team captain quickly, because as many of you know, Kahoot is time-based when it comes to scoring, and that could be the difference between winning and losing. Good luck, and we hope to see many in round 2 next week.